Hello everyone, today I would like to discuss the new psychological horror game Tsunagari Chess School. It has only recently released, but I believe this is going to take the internet by storm. On Steam it looks like another innocent visual novel game with cute girls who you play chess with. But scroll down a little bit and you do start to get hints that something feels a little strange. And if it wasn't obvious, the psychological horror tag. On first glance, it appears to be inspired by another game, Doki Literature Club. But once you start playing, it is quite different. The characters not only start breaking the fourth wall and understand they are stuck in a game, but they actively want to exit the game world and enter your world, the real one. I guess it's time for another theory, a game theory. When you suddenly wake up in your room, you find a phone. It tells you to go to school. So you do that, and on your way there, you meet a girl called Hinamari. She walks you to the school and introduces you to the people. At class, you meet another girl, Yumiko, the president. She gives you a registration form with some normal questions, but also some strange questions. But then there's Rin, a girl who's into hunting and guns. She bullies the player at first, but becomes more friendly and explains her friend died when she was in a small hunting accident. She wants to bring her dead friend back to life. Then we have Irel. Irel is more of a royal girl, shy but kind. She wishes to create a world without judgment. And you also meet another girl called Misaki, an engineer who builds phones. Now back in your house, there's a TV that you can use. One of the first few days you wake up, you go to class and talk to the girls and go home. But one morning, when you turn on the TV, a murder is mentioned. When you visit the school again, teacher is absent. So the question is, who died? Well, personally, I'm not sure yet. At first I thought it would be the teacher who's dead. But who would kill the teacher? Personally, I think the teacher killed someone. But setting this aside, at the end of class, Hinamari wants to ask you out on a date. Before she can finish her last sentence, someone kills her and she falls to the ground. Immediately, you wake up in front of God. He explains that because someone just died, the game will start immediately. What game, you ask? Well, the death game. Everyone who was in the classroom is now part of a death game. He explains that you'll all have to fight until only one person remains alive. And he explains that your phone has special functions. It can ping nearby players within 50 meters to detect them and shows how many players are left alive in the game. An interesting fact is that the amount of players in the game is 16. That's the same number of people who were in the classroom before the game started. And interestingly, this is the same number of pieces on the side of a chessboard. So today I won't be covering all the lore and mysteries, because there's so much. I really want to be this as the first video and a beginning. And I would like you to play the game yourself to help me figure out and solve these mysteries. But I will try to answer some interesting questions on mysteries and try to connect the dots. There is a character at the start of the game who gives us a key. A person called Sora, and he happened to be walking in the park behind you and asks you if you've dropped the key. If you claim the key, you can later find out that it can be used on the closet door in the classroom. Initially, when you inspect the key in your inventory, it mentions the number 413. 413 is also the time Yumiko mentions the clock tower clock broke at. Now, if you remember, you have a flip phone, and this phone has a keypad. You can enter and call numbers. And, well, let's see. If you call 413 on the phone, it will dial. And eventually it will connect and it will say that you're out of range from the lab. A lab? Well, that's strange. But if you stand in front of the closet door in class and call this number in front of the door, you will get something quite spooky. Another thing that is sometimes mentioned in the game is a mysterious character called Dr. Wisteria. I believe this is probably a scientist or someone who is in control of the game. There is a note in one of the drawers of teacher who says, "Beware of the man with no reflection" by Ethan. And this stands out as this name is not as Japanese sounding as every other character in the game. Is this the player who was here before you? Well, at this time, I'm not sure. I think it's possible that some of the characters like Yumiko are an experiment. They were abducted and put into the simulation world. But for what purpose? Something I found very interesting is that randomly during dialogue in class, IRL, one of the girls, mentions that she likes to keep trees in her garden. And one of those trees is Wisteria. I think that's not just a coincidence. I think IRL is connected in some way to Dr. Wisteria. And then, when the game supposedly finishes at the end, why does the game glitch? Well, it does seem that there is more after the ending, as you can replay the game and this will affect your new playthrough of the game. It remembers some of the things that you did. So why does the game crash or glitch out at the end? Well, I'm not sure, but it might be the Dr. Wisteria resetting the simulation. So, who is Dr. Wisteria? What is in the closet? And what is the goal of Dr. Wisteria? Well, that's all I have for you today. In the next video, I will go deeper to answer those questions. And I think we'll have to dig a lot more deeper to understand the secrets of this game.